Let's get it. Let's get it. All right, so how's it going, everybody? It's the Westside Speakeasy Podcast and Reaction Channel with episode 7. Make sure you like and subscribe right here with Moco Tattoo.
Tigre here. What's up, everybody? How we doing?
How's everybody doing?
How's everybody's weekend?
Yeah, how's everybody's weekend? So definitely we had a cool little weekend. Got some shit, some cleaning done.
Yep.
We were able to watch that fight.
That was a good fights this weekend. UFC had some good fights.
So before we even get into any of that, let me give a little shout out to everybody that's been subscribing, commenting, you know what I mean?
Yep, we appreciate all the interactions, everything. Thank y'all.
So good looking out, Christian Reynolds.
Yep, shout out to him.
She was, no.
I
don't know. That's a damn good question. I don't know.
Did you say Christian or Christine?
Christian Reynolds.
Okay. Yep. It
was on the WNBA
on the end,
short.
Oh, yep. On the WNBA short. Nice.
She was saying, she said something along the lines like last year it had more views than
I'm
the
pretty
NBA.
sure they probably did. Yeah. Last year they had a lot of views too, for sure.
So I can't fact check that or whatever, but it probably did, dog.
No, they had a lot of views last year with Caitlin Clark, for sure.
Most definitely. And then we got FG's, what does it say? I'm not sure if that's 111 or 717.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that's Cuñado right there.
Oh, yeah?
Fernie G.
Yep, maybe. I'm not sure.
Out in Phoenix. Shout out to you, man. Good looking out. Supporting the fam. Then we got Kitty. I'm not sure if that's 71 something, but shout out to you.
Shout out to her, too. Yep.
We got Grow Wise Gardens. Shout out to you.
Shout out to everybody that been supporting, man. Commenting, thank you.
We got Roadrunner Mini Bikes.
Yep.
Shout out to you too. And as a matter of fact, shout out to the homie Tommy.
Yep.
With Mini Bike Tommy Mini Bikes. On right there on Instagram, follow them. They be driving around in a van, dog.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, they drive.
And what do they do? Do they fix or they sell bikes, mini bikes? Or what
no,
they
do? Both.
Oh, both?
But nice. For the most part, they drive around like a mobile mechanic, like a mobile mini bike mechanic, dog.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, Mini Bike Tommy, man, follow him.
Mini Bike Tommy, that's what's up. Shout out to him.
It's Mini Bike Tommy 1. That's his Instagram. Go ahead and follow him. If you got like a go-kart, a mini bike, or maybe even a mini motorcycle.
Yeah.
They could look out for you. They'll pull up on you. It's a black van. They just dip around, just hooking it. I gotta call him up. As a matter of fact, tomorrow.
What's up.
I gotta get my carb clean on my go-kart. I was right there, fucking tearing up my arm, dog, trying to get that shit on.
Yeah, for sure.
Make sure you give him a follow. Let me see. And once again, good looking out, Roadrunner Mini Bikes. Then we got David. Good looking out, David. We got Lupita. Good looking out, Lupita.
Yep.
Obaldo. Good looking out, with the comment.
Yep.
Ganja Man 59650. Good looking out.
Thank you too, man.
Yep.
Appreciate all the comments, all the likes. Thank you.
And like I said, man, we only got I think 15 more subscribers until we get 100. Until we get 100 subscribers.
Right. Yeah. Thank you to everybody who's been subscribing and liking. Thank you guys.
Don't forget, once we get 100 followers, we're gonna do like a little. Remember?
That little giveaway, right?
That little giveaway. So don't forget, like and subscribe. All right, so let's go right ahead and get into it, dog. You want to start with some sports?
You want to start with the UFC this weekend? There was some good fights. The main card had some good fights. You want to start with those?
Yeah, we could do maybe the ones before because me and Tigre were able to watch
a couple of the fights.
A couple of the fights, dog. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Westside Speakeasy. On Instagram, I have posted a little story on it.
Okay,
that we're watching the fight.
Nice.
So, but you want to say who won the first?
All right. So, the main card, we'll start with the main card. It was Dominic Reyes versus, this guy's name is Russian, so you know how that goes. But I'll say his last name is Krylov. Dominic Reyes beat him. And then this fight was, a lot of people were waiting for it. It was Bryce Mitchell versus Gene Silva. And they actually, Gene Silva beat Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell got a couple of controversial, he went viral a couple of times for saying some controversial stuff,
What was he saying?
He's just a white boy from the middle of the country. I forget honestly what he was saying, but I know he went viral for saying some stuff. Look him up, Bryce Mitchell. Okay, after that, we had Yair Rodriguez versus Patricio Pitbull. Shout out to Yair Rodriguez.
Oh, I seen some of that one.
The Mexican kid,
that one was pretty good.
That was good, man. He won too. Yair won.
2 young battles, right?
Yeah, there were 2 young cats.
Lost, right?
Yeah, Pitbull lost.
I seen that one.
That was a good fight.
That was the one right before the one we watched, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So then the one right after that was the one you're talking about, Patty the Batty versus Michael Chandler. And that right there, that was a good fight, man. That was a good fight. Everybody thought Michael Chandler was going to beat him, because Michael Chandler's a lot, like body size. He looks stronger. Plus, he has the experience. You
He
know,
definitely looked like he had the experience.
he has the experience for sure. He's older, maybe like in his mid-30s, and Patty's probably like Paddy the Baddy, that guy from England. He's probably I
10
want to say
years
like
younger, no?
maybe like 25, 26 around that age.
Yeah.
And dude, he surprised everybody, and he beat up Chandler, bro. He beat him up big time. I'm not gonna lie. He definitely beat him up big time. I think they're gonna give him the title shot next. That's what I'm thinking. He gets the next title shot at whoever's
So
the
Chandler
champion.
was like kind of like a stepping stone.
Kind of, yeah. Chandler was ranked, I think, I want to say like ranked number 7 or something like that. But Patty looks like, he looks like he's ready for the title belt. That should be very interesting.
Hey, he was a savage though, dog. He was like licking his hands right after they were fighting because I man, shout out to Chandler, but he was bleeding, man.
Oh, yeah, he had him leaking with, I don't know if you remember, he hit him with the flying knee. Boom, and he busted his right under his eye with that flying knee. He got him good.
Yeah, definitely. From looking at, like you were saying in the first round.
Yep.
Chandler was definitely holding it down.
Chandler,
I want to say he even won the first round.
Oh, he definitely won the first round. The experience, you could see it kind of, You could see it. He took Paddy the Baddy down, and he kind of controlled him down there a little bit for like a minute or two. But, dude, after the second round came out, that was it. Paddy just put it on him.
But,
put it on him.
On the second round, the only downside, or not downside, but I want to say, was it Chandler? I think he he kicked Paddy the Baddy in the balls, bro.
Oh, yeah, he gave him a low blow?
Man, yeah, they
stopped the fight for like a minute or two.
I'm sure he's got like a cup.
Yeah, they got a cup.
But even with that cup, like, no, it was a couple seconds. He was like, he was
like, hold on, I need a minute right there.
Yeah, he had to walk it off. Man, yeah, he definitely got hit.
Those low blows, honestly, they could change the fight, bro, honestly. Those low blows are kind of...
Well, he did it because he still won.
He still won, those low blows are kind of iffy,
So then I want to say after that little moment of, getting his jewels smacked.
Kicked on?
Yeah. That's when he started kind of switching over to Paddy the Baddy.
Yeah, and he took him down and he beat him up with elbows and cut up his face.
He definitely, you know what though? Chandler did get some good ones to his face.
No, it was a good fight. They were going
Boom.
at it. I'll tell you this about Chandler, Michael Chandler. He's never have a boring fight. Never, bro. He's either gonna get knocked out or he's gonna knock you out. He never has a boring fight. That's one thing that people like about him when he fights. It's always exciting. He's always going for broke. He's always trying to knock somebody out. But yeah, man, Paddy definitely beat him up, bro. He beat him up, cut him up. Yeah, it was kind of...
Hey, man, I give it up, though, to Chandler because he took it like a G, bro.
No, he took
all the way to the end. Like, at one point... They got to the third round?
It was in the third round. At one point, it looked like Paddy the Baddy had him like a fish out of water, bro. It looked like he was gasping for air.
I seen
Remember?
That part. Yeah.
I don't know if you see, he was all bloody, and yeah, it looked pretty bad. Yeah, I seen that too. Paddy the Baddy did the PJ pin where he licks the blood off of his gloves. That's a if anybody knows about the UFC, that's a BJ pin move, the OG BJ Penn, shout out to him too, man. He was one of the greats.
Yeah, man, and even towards the end, remember when he was like kind of beating on him, dog?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
I was even kind of feeling bad. Like,
yeah, we were saying, stop it already. Yeah. He kind of beat him up a little too long.
I guess the rep was kind of like, you know what? Maybe he might,
sometimes they do get out of those, when they're kind of getting beat up like that. Sometimes they scramble and they get up, and they're able to fight back. But this time it didn't look like he was going to be able to fight back.
Yeah, but definitely on the third round, we could. I think. We're already like, he's not gonna
make it. He's not gonna make it. Yeah.
I mean, my opinion, I think he's a great fighter. I just think Paddy the Baddy just had the length.
It's his time too right now, bro.
He's younger, he's taller, he's got like more length. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. No, it was a good fight. He's got
a hard accent, dog.
He's from England. He's from England. If I'm correct, he's from Liverpool. If I'm correct.
Okay.
He's from Liverpool.
Yeah, but that was definitely a good fight. If you haven't checked it out, check it out, man. It's just this was what, yesterday? This was just barely yesterday.
Saturday night.
Yeah. So. On UFC, go ahead and check it out. I have a couple brews.
And then the main fight.
Wasn't the main fight?
No, that was the second main fight. That was the main fight was Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopez. And Alexander Volkanovski, once again, is the featherweight champion of the world. He beat Diego Lopez in a 5-round decision. It was pretty good.
I missed that one.
It was a pretty good fight. I'll say this. Alexander Volkanovski definitely dominated. His experience, you could see it. He controlled them, but the other guy, I'm not going to lie, Alexander took a little beating himself, bro. Both eyes were black after the fight. The thing is, that kid was landing some good shots. Alexander was dominating the fight, but that guy was landing some shots where he hurt him a couple times where he had to back up. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
but it was a 5-round decision. I think Alexander deserved to win. He did beat him. But
so they went all 5 rounds.
They went all 5 rounds, but the brutal shots were landed by the other guy.
Oh,
I think so. It's just that Alexander, controlled the fight. He definitely controlled the fight. He won round 1, round 2. I'll give him even round 3. In round 4, in round 3, at the end of round 3, Alexander gets dropped, and then in round 4, the other guy has a good round. But then in round 5, Alexander puts it on him again.
Oh man.
So Alexander is the champion again. He had lost the belt to. Who did he lose the belt to? Ilya Topuria.
Okay.
Yeah, and that guy just went up. He left the belt. He went up to another weight class. He
gained weight.
He wants to challenge himself. Yeah, he's going up. There's some big boys. He's gonna go up to some big boys. I'll tell you that. It's gonna be pretty interesting to see that guy up there in that weight class.
Who was that?
His name is Ilya Topuria. He was the champion. Okay. He let go of that belt. That's why these two fought for the belt.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was a pretty good fight. This UFC, man, 100%.
Most definitely. And any updates on the next one?
The next one, I didn't even see which one was the next event.
We're gonna look into that, and we'll let you guys know. As of right now, I only know about the boxing.
Yep,
that's gonna be what
May 5th.
May 5th.
Yep.
Oh, that's around the corner. Oh, Cinco de Mayo. It's fun to go up, dog. For Cinco de Mayo.
You know how it is.
Man, Cinco de Mayo doesn't really go up like it used to. But at least out here in the streets, dog, in LA.
Yeah.
Sure. But I'm sure events.
Used to have parades everywhere.
Oh, did Lennox have the?
I don't know if they had the carnival,
but they used to have it. They used to have the parade.
And they used to have a parade where they would bring horses and all that.
Yeah, and they used to do little dances. As a matter of fact, I want to say I went to the last one.
Did you?
Yeah, I went to the last one.
I don't know if after COVID they ever did it again.
I don't think so. I want to say I went to either one of the last ones or the last Lennox parade, dog. And I was right there, and they had the lowrider. I took that's when the West Factory first started up, dog. Around those years, So I actually went on some footwork.
Yeah.
And I took a camera, and I was taking pictures of all the lowriders. As a matter of fact, we had some females taking pictures with the
West Factory shirts?
Yeah.
Nice.
And most definitely, man, rest in peace, Dumps. I seen him up there.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Say what's up or whatever. Yeah, man, rest in peace. But that was definitely some good history right there.
Nice.
We need to bring that kind of stuff back.
Well, like
dog.
The parades and the horses and all that. Yeah, it's good for the people. I think it's good for the public.
Man, you know what? Check this out, people. I got an idea. Shout out to everybody that got the cars. You either got G bodies, the low riders, or just the tacuaches that got the trucks.
The little
the cuz, the tacuaches, whatever, man.
Shout out to everybody, man.
I'm gonna try to get a little something for May 5th. Do you know what day that lands on?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Either that weekend or May 5th, that exact day.
One of the
I'm gonna do something where maybe we just go down over here on my side of town. And we just go down the boulevard, and I'll just tell all the raza, what if you got some badass cars? Hey man, just pull up, follow us around, a couple laps, just a couple laps. We'll stop at the park or something, and we'll have a taco stand or something.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, most definitely, dog. So, yeah, did you want? So, what was the next topic, Brody?
The next topic, what you got right there? You want to jump right into it?
Definitely, dog. So check this out, man. Right now that I'm talking about community type stuff, I did want to give a shout out to Reina.
Yep.
I think it's Carrillo. Like I said on the last episode, I was gonna tell you guys the details as far as there was an autism awareness.
Event, Oh, that's right. Yep. Yeah. You mentioned that.
It's gonna be on 108 and Crenshaw. I want to say it's at a church, and they're gonna have food for the first 50 people free. It's an all free event. You know what I mean? For autism awareness.
Okay, nice.
So it's gonna be actually the day is gonna be Saturday, April 26th.
Saturday, April 26th. Next weekend. Is it next weekend?
Is it already next weekend?
No, I think in 2 weekends.
In 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks, April 26th, autism awareness event, free, all free. Bring
the kids, bring the family, bring everybody.
Bring everybody that supports the whole movement. It's gonna be on 108 in Crenshaw. Shout out to Reina.
Shout out to Reina, man.
And don't forget to look out, man. It's all like an event where it's out the pocket. No, it's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you ain't got.
So if you could donate, if you could look out,
a little donation. That's all they ask.
Yeah. I'm saying before, because we got to get the jumpers and all that.
Yep.
So, shout out to you and for making that whole movement happen.
Yeah, thank you, Reina.
Yeah. So so on the next, man, we got. Oh, okay. We got that update. Remember?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about the update.
Yeah.
Yep. So you guys remember that the guy who killed the cop in Tijuana, Mexico now, right? What's his
I
name?
want to say it was Delano, no? In Delano
Oh, he
prison?
escaped from Delano first, right?
Oh,
Yep.
okay, okay.
Yep, you're right. Go for it.
Well, yeah, I want to say, I could be wrong. I want to say he was like out of Linwood. I read somewhere that he was out of Linwood or he did the crime in Linwood.
Yep.
Then he went to Delano. And then I don't know if he went to like court.
I want to say he was doing life, right? They sentenced him.
Yeah, he was doing life, I think. I don't know why he was going to court, whatever. So, like in the last episode, we explained, he took off. He took off.
Yeah, he runs away from the cops. Yep.
And the whole update, what I'm trying to say, basically, is I guess he went at it with the Huda
in Mexico, right? In TJ.
Yeah. So he went at it with the Huda, that's the cops, the feds, whatever you want to call it.
Whatever the Johnnies, whatever you.
The Johnnies.
Whatever it is.
The one time.
Yeah.
12. Yeah. The 12, but out in Mexico, right?
Yes,
so that was the last.
What we were talking about over there.
He got into a gunfight. So trip out, right? And I actually got this from Renegade Media, man.
Shout out to him.
Yeah,
too,
I watch all podcasts, whether whatever cultural, Black, Mexican, it don't matter. I watch all the podcasts, like Joe Rogan and all that.
Everything.
So he was saying that it was actually a female cop.
Right, I heard that too.
Yeah,
it was a female cop,
and they call her the Gringo Hunter or Killer. No,
the Gringo Hunter.
The Gringo Hunter.
The Gringo Hunter. They call this cop that the woman cop, right?
Yeah, which is kind of controversial.
A little bit.
As far as the name,
a little bit.
But from my understandings, is what she was doing was basically, people that fled from right here, the U.S. to Mexico.
Yeah.
That she was like, she would hunt them down, dog.
Oh, so that was like her specialty?
That was her little specialty.
How many people did she have hunted down?
Apparently she had like hundreds.
Oh, for real?
Supposedly.
A couple hundred?
Hundreds.
Damn, so she was kind of badass then.
No, she was definitely, come on, they call her the Gringo Hunter.
The Gringo Hunter. So she would hunt criminals that would go flee to Mexico.
Yeah, so to a certain degree, dog, that's kind of heroic.
That's pretty badass of her. Honestly, that's dangerous. I'm surprised a woman
that's
in Mexico
like some,
that.
Is that like some Batman and Robin type?
I mean, she's fighting crime, I'll tell you that. She was fighting crime. Oh, so he killed her.
He killed her, man.
In a gunfight.
Allegedly.
Wow. Now, I'm wondering, do you think he knew it was her and that... I'm pretty sure, right? There's no way it was an accident.
Honestly, dog, at this point, man, they're going to have to make a movie about this dude, dog.
I don't know. Do you think... Now, let me ask you this. Do you think the guy's working for cartel?
Man... I mean, if he's up in Mexico, dog, I honestly, when it comes to Mexico, I believe anything, bro. Like, anything can happen out there, dog. Most definitely, dog.
Yeah, maybe, because what are the odds that he still hasn't gotten caught? Like, you have to have money. You have to have people helping you, right? Or what do you think?
That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, they got to make a movie on this guy, dog. Like, if you think about it, like...
How did he even cross the border without, like...
Man, I don't even... Honestly, I do believe to a certain degree that the FBI or the marshals, they probably have footage of him at the border, like...
But it was too late already.
If
he crosses, once he's in, he's in.
But I believe they probably, and then they probably know where he's at, dog. But if he's plugged up, dog, like, I don't think it's going to be all that easy to get him, dog.
I don't know, if he's the part of one of these big cartels and he's like a active member and he really doing things for them, who knows? They might not just catch this dude.
So it like, personally, I think it's either like, it was just coincidence that she was there and he just didn't know, and it's just coincidence.
Now, do you think she probably tried to get him and he just like started shooting because he thought it was police and they were trying to get him?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it was either like that, or it was like actually deeper where maybe he
had a picture of her already, maybe?
Huh?
And maybe he had a picture of her already.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's
the
what I'm
corruption
saying.
over there is at the highest levels, bro. So we don't know if maybe somebody slipped him a picture. Hey, look, this is the girl who hunts people like you.
Like, this is probably...
Look out for her. And as soon as he saw her, he just probably started... I mean, who knows, bro, honestly.
That's honestly very possible, dog, because...
It's an incredible story, honestly.
Because people talk, dog. Like, and what I mean by that is like...
It's Mexico.
In the streets, dog. Them like, hey, like, ponte trucha. Like, hay una muchacha...
Hey, aquí hay una que busca a la gente como tú, cabronete.
Yeah, like...
Los agarran, güey.
So he's probably like, oh, shit, all right.
¿A poco sí, güey? A ver, enséñame una foto de ella, güey. Ahí te va a ir a... Fucking, ahí está en el face, o ahí está whatever, you know how it is.
But
aquí está, es ella, güey. Like,
to a certain degree, he's definitely got to have some type of like
protection, right?
Pool, because he had protection.
He had to.
Or, he had whatever he had.
Like that. I mean,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
Like, to have that, like...
Right, because I'm pretty sure even though she was the Gringo Hunter, she wasn't by herself. She had, obviously, men right there with her, you know? So, like, in order for him to get away, it's kind of, like, surprising that he got away.
Man, like I said,
especially in Mexico, bro. And killing it's kind of crazy.
Definitely, dog.
I wonder if she had U.S. citizenship.
I have no idea.
She's working TJ, and I know a lot of people in TJ have the double citizenship, you know?
Yeah, let us know if you guys want us to get deeper into this, man. I can, like, research it or whatever. I'm just kind of going off of what I what I seen on, what old boy was talking about, and
Right.
that was definitely something like
It
pretty
was,
crazy. Yeah, I was
yeah, it
like,
was
oh
no, it's a
shit!
wild
Like,
story,
not
honestly.
only did he
Not only
get a
did he
hura,
escape from here, life in prison, but now he's killing cops in Mexico. Like, this dude is on a fucking rampage. You know what that means, though, right? That means he's not gonna go down without a gunfight. He's not.
yeah,
They're gonna have to kill him. He's not gonna go back to prison. That's what it means.
man, you know what I would
He's
do,
a
dog?
dangerous person.
I think he would have to just move on to a whole nother country, dog. Or you think Mexico's big enough?
Mexico, you're gonna have to keep going deeper into what, Guatemala, El Salvador, then, if that's what you want to do.
Nah, Salvador, not El Salvador.
Nah, not you're right. Stay out of El Salvador. They don't play right there. But you can go into Guatemala and then maybe make your way into like Chile and keep going down into like South America. That's probably your only bet. And then you end up in a country. You have to find a country that there's no extradition back to the United States. So you maybe go to Cuba, right? In Cuba, they'll never send you back. Russia is another one they'll never send you back. Those are probably the only two off the top of my head that I know that. You can go and they'll never send you back.
Because a lot of these fools like that be out in Mexico, they do end up getting caught, but like years later. Well, who was that dude that
10 years
it was like
later.
him and his wife got out or something? Who was that?
I don't remember, but yeah, there is people who've gotten caught in Mexico 15 years later.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about like a cartel dude.
Oh, yeah?
It was like on the news.
Rafa Caro Quintero?
Was it him?
Maybe. He was
and
in
then
prison.
that they got him, and then that his wife went to jail too or something?
I'm not sure.
I'll look into that. Hey, but let us know if you guys want us to go a little deeper into this, man, into this whole subject, or even that dude, which I don't think I can get any more deeper because it's pretty much what
I'll tell you this,
you know
Mexico is kind of upside down right now, bro. There's a lot of war. There's a lot of war in Mexico that people don't know about, and in Culiacan right now, bro, in that state, it's ugly, bro. There's a lot of people,
Damn.
yeah. The two cartel, the one big cartel, El Cartel de Sinaloa, it's at war with itself. So.
They're having like an inner shit.
It's split right between the half, and these two factions are going at it, bro. I mean, everybody, there's like a curfew that the city knows. Everybody inside when sun is down because it's nothing but war outside. So I just found this stat out, which was crazy for me to hear. In the first 3 days of the war in Ukraine and Russia, Mexico in those same 3 days had more killings, more bodies dead than the war did over there.
Damn.
Imagine, bro. Imagine that's how many people. Yeah, dog, die every day in Mexico.
That's because they're probably out there in Mexico all maniaced out, fool. Like,
it's not even that. It's just, think
like,
about
you know
it.
What I mean?
There's not a lot of opportunity for work. And what are the young kids going to do? What are the young men going to do? Full of testosterone. That's going to make them money. It's not as just easy as saying,
become little soldiers and
that's
shit.
all they got, bro. There's some people that ain't got nothing.
Yeah, and then in Ukraine, I could imagine they're a little bit more organized with like the
that
rules of war.
That war shouldn't even have really.
I'm not too big on that. Do you have any
information on Russia and Ukraine?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could say honestly that the U.S. kind of started that war, if I'm being completely honest with you. NATO, we're part of NATO, and we're trying to bring Ukraine into NATO, which is the neighbor with Russia.
And then Russia's not feeling that.
Putin right away said, if you guys do that, I'm going to invade you. And they kept messing around, and he ended up invading. Now, that's a touchy subject over there. I will say this. It used to be part of Russia's
That's what
Ukraine.
I was going to say.
It was part
Yeah,
of the
Ukraine.
SSR. So, I mean, who knows really, right? But they say that like some of the people want to be Russian again, and some of the people don't. I know
so there's
a lot
like
of people,
mixed feelings.
Mixed feelings, and I will say this. I know there's a lot of Ukrainian people that are very, very proud of being Ukrainian, and they do not want to be Russian, dog. I will say that. I know that for a fact. There's a lot of proud Ukrainians, man, that are fighting to the death to be Ukrainian, not to be Russian. So it's a very, very ugly, thing going on over there for sure. And it's sad that the war's still going on, bro.
Yeah, and I want to say that the Ukrainian president, didn't he meet up with Trump, right?
Yeah, and they got into the last time, and they got into an argument. And
like a semi-argument, because he was kind of trying to say, like, Dan, can I get a thank you, right?
Right. Trump was saying, I need a thank you from you at least. And he was kind of like, give me more, which is, honestly, that's why I say we have a big part of this. If the United States would stop giving Ukraine all the weapons, the war would have been over. They wouldn't be able to fight back. But the United States keeps sending tanks, and these $100 billion contracts that we keep sending them.
That's crazy.
You know how we send like Ukraine $250 billion? It's not that we actually send them $1 billion. We send them weapons and ammunition and tanks and airplanes.
And that's all money, really.
That's how we accumulate to the billions of dollars, bro. But a lot of that it's an ugly game, bro. A lot of that comes back to the United States people who create the weapons over here, Lockheed Martin and all of those companies over
Yeah,
here,
yeah,
dog.
yeah. Like the weapons
It's
fucking
just it's a
companies and the airplane companies.
they
It's
love
all
it.
money,
They
huh?
love it. They love it,
It's all
dog.
money.
They
That's what
want
it
us
comes
in war.
down to.
They never want us to stop war.
Yeah, because they're gonna
always
get more
try to
contracts to make more
they're
planes.
always gonna try to get us in another war, dog. The military-industrial complex is a fucking problem, dog.
That's fucked up, dog. Because they need to lower motherfucking prices, dog.
And I'll tell you this,
That's
dog.
what they need to do, dog.
The military-industrial complex, we can have a whole podcast just on them.
Then maybe we will. Let us know in the comments if
Because
you want.
I'll tell you this, even though it's called the military-industrial complex, it does not belong to the United States government, dog. It's owned by separate families that own this country, dog. I will say that. That's a fact. Anybody can go check that. The military-industrial complex does not belong to the United States government.
And what was the like the name for that? Like the few people that run the U.S. What was the name for that?
With the oligarchs?
Was it that?
There's a couple of names you could call
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
The real people in charge, all the bankers,
basically.
everybody, all the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds.
And they're
people.
probably all the people that like fund like Trump and
they
or
fund
whatever,
all the
you know
wars, bro. It just came out. We've been sending the Taliban millions of dollars ever since like 2020 when we pulled out of there, bro. Imagine all of our soldiers that bled and seen their brothers die in arms right there in those sands, in those deserts. And now we're sending them, now if to come out, they find out we've been sending them millions every month, bro, every month. Besides all the fucking weapons that we left behind when we left them tanks, we left them airplanes.
Yeah.
Like this, it was a man. Honestly, it's disgusting what we did.
I mean, there's
there.
probably like politics behind all these, dog. There's meanings.
Bro, yeah.
I want to say just money in general, dog. You know what
I
mean?
Money, corruption, and
the oil fields and all that
and
shit.
The poppy fields, and just what they call feeding the meat to the grinder, bro. That's what they did to our youth when 20 years in fighting in Iraq and Afghanistan. They fed the meat to the grinder, bro, without thinking about these young
more
kids.
Meat for the grinder.
And the thing is, dog, proud Americans are so proud, dog, that anytime you try to say that, hey, they're attacking us, they're fighting us, we're gonna go and fuck you up, because that's just the way we are in America, dog.
Propaganda.
Propaganda. People can say whatever they want about us, but when it comes to the American fighting soldier, dog, that's a bad man right there, bro. You fear the American fucking fighting soldier, because he will not stop until the mission is accomplished, dog.
Yeah, most definitely,
100%, bro. They can say whatever they want about us, dog, but when it comes, especially to the special forces, like the Navy SEALs, the Marine MARSOC, the Green Berets from the Army, bro, those are the elite of the elite, the top of the top soldiers in the world, bro, in the world, 100%. I put those soldiers against anybody in history, bro, in history.
Shout out to all the soldiers.
Shout out to everybody, all the
veterans,
military, everybody out there keeping us safe, man. Thank you.
In the service and all that, man.
We appreciate it.
Good luck to my nephew Max. He's trying to be in the Air Force.
There you
I don't know if you know that he already went, right?
Nice.
Yeah. So that should be working out, man. Shout out to a couple of homies that's out in the
I got
military,
family and cousins too that serve too. Shout out to them too, for sure.
As a matter of fact, Gramps, I think I had said it in one of these episodes, he was in World War II.
That's
dog.
right? You mentioned that.
He had the BAR.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get a couple of stories. We're gonna have to Google Gramps,
I think right now, that's a perfect time to go ahead and do the Shine the Light.
Oh yeah, we can do Shine the Light for sure. Yeah, Shine the Light. Oh yeah, because we skipped it last time, huh?
Yep. We did.
Yep. All right, so today on Shine the Light, we have Private First Class David M. Gonzalez, spelled with an S at the end. He was born June 9th, 1923 in Pacoima, California.
Sheesh.
Cali boy, let's go.
Hey, wasn't Richie Valens
I think
from Pacoima?
He
was from the Valley.
Yeah, he was from the Valley. Yeah, for sure. Yep, he was part of the 127th Infantry, 32nd Division. He won his Medal of Honor. It says he was pinned down with his company as enemy fire swept the area, making any movement extremely hazardous. A 500-pound bomb smashed into the company's perimeter, burying 5 men when it exploded. Private First Class Gonzalez, without hesitation, seized an entrenching tool and started digging them out. He crawled 15 yards under heavy fire to get to his soldiers that were buried. When he was there, he met his commanding officer who was there too, trying to dig them out. He seen him get killed instantly by machine gun fire. That didn't stop him digging his partners out. He dig one out, and then another and another. Digging the third person out, he was killed by enemy machine gun fire. He won
the third one.
Pulling out the third one. Every person he pulled out though survived.
Yeah.
He won the Medal of Honor posthumously, which means he wasn't there to receive it. His family received it.
Oh yeah, because he
Yeah. Thank you to Private David M. Gonzalez. Thank you for your bravery. Really appreciate you helping us win the war.
Man, so that's like low key on some suicidal like type. You know what I mean?
It's what you call the highest sacrifice you can give to the country. You sacrifice yourself for your troops, for your platoon,
Man,
for your
bro.
boys. Because you think about it, these are the boys you're in boot camp with, dog. And then all of a sudden you're in the middle of war with them, bro. These are your brothers.
You got no other choice but to trust them.
Bro, there's a lot of stories of like they throw a grenade right in the middle of the platoon and somebody just dives on it, no hesitation, covers it and blows himself up so everybody can survive. Imagine the sacrifice that takes, bro. The heart, the balls of these guys, dog. Honestly, people like that their story should always be remembered. They should always be told. Honestly, those people.
Don't they usually throw the helmet on top of the grenade?
If they can, but even that is you're still gonna die.
Still,
you could throw the helmet on it, but you're still gonna die. I think it would be worse to throw the helmet on it. Honestly, you might as well just let it hit you.
Yeah, because all the sharp don't hunt.
Well,
just get it over with.
Just get it over with. Get it over with. Yeah. Yeah, man. Shout out to David M. Gonzalez, man.
Unless you throw like a carcass.
Imagine you grab somebody else's shit.
Man, yeah, fuck.
All right, the next person on Shine the Light, we're going to shine the light on Staff Sergeant Macario Garcia. Yeah, Macario Garcia.
Man, we got a Gonzalez and a Garcia.
Yup, he was born January 2nd, 1920 in Castañón, Coahuila, Mexico, dog. And he won the Medal of Honor, all right? He was born in Mexico.
Wait a minute. So he was in the U.S.?
In the U.S. Army, dog, fighting in World War II for the U.S. Born in Mexico, dog. This was a man born in Mexico.
People? Come on, man. And you guys want to deport everybody, but...
You know how it goes. That's why I started this, because I want to shine the light on people that, that helped the United States win the war. He served with B Company, 1st Battalion, in the 22nd Infantry Regiment, 4th Infantry Division. Staff Sergeant Macario, he was serving with B Company in Germany, bro. He won his Medal of Honor in Germany.
Man, so he was all the way up in Germany, dog, it was the Nazis.
It was November 27, 1944. When acting as a squad leader, he single-handedly assaulted 2 enemy machine gun emplacements, attacking prepared positions on a wooden steep hill. I guess it was entrenched with wood. They were blocked in.
Yeah, like pillboxes or whatever.
Exactly. His company was pinned down by intense machine gun fire and subject to concentrated artillery and mortar barrage. Although painfully wounded, he refused to be evacuated.
So he was on still his own merit.
Yup, he was great. Yup, he was wounded bad, actually. It says he crawled forward until he alone reached the pillbox, emptying his magazine, throwing grenades over, destroying the machine gun and killing 3 enemy fighters, bro. It says as soon as he got back to his platoon, another machine gun opened up on him. It says he crawled to that one too and did the same thing. He destroyed that machine gun, throwing grenades, killed 3 enemy and took 4 captive by himself.
Man, by himself. He probably went up in there like, what's cracking? They're like, oh. You know what? Honestly, bro, those pillboxes out, they could do so much damage, dog. They can either just halt like a whole platoon.
Bro, they could one good pillbox and a good machine gunner with maybe he needs one other person helping him out, a good spotter, bro, they will stop 200-300 men in cold track, bro. Those machine guns were shooting
they'll have you pinned down,
bro. Imagine thousands of rounds a minute, bro.
And not only that, like if you try to make a move, dog, they're probably taking you out like a spray, like bro. Everybody's dropping.
Let's just say they have one position. Now, if they have 2 and they're cross-firing their weapons, bro, into the crowd, you're not, man. Honestly, it's surprising. Everybody remembers the movie Saving Private Ryan. Remember D-Day in the beginning when they're storming the beach in Normandy?
Yeah, and they're going up.
Bro, I'm surprised that we even got to take the beach. Like, just how good they had it surrounded with the machine gun. You know the balls it takes to move forward, bro, where you just... Bro,
definitely, people were just dying as soon as the little thing came open.
Dying like shooting fishes in a barrel, bro. That's what I'm saying. I'm surprised we got to take the beach. I'm surprised we literally got to take the beach, bro.
They for sure were bombarding the spot, though.
Yeah, but I mean, think about it. Everybody seen the way they had those cement buildings. They didn't touch those things at all, bro. So many of the young men got mowed down as soon as
and they were probably all tweaked out. The fucking Germans.
They were on drugs. It was a drug called Pervitin. That was a German name for the pill that they had. It was
Oh god, so they were just tweaked out,
and it was a methamphetamine pill. Yes.
Man, so they were just beaming right
there,
ready for anything. They created it. Yeah, I want to
created.
say they basically made speed, right?
Yeah, they made speed. It was actually given to the public, like everybody. In the
What
beginning,
the
believe it or not, it was given to housewives for like because they were too bored or whatever, like for their boredom and like
what?
I swear, it was a medicine that was prescribed like that,
What
like
the?
to housewives.
And then eventually they all started getting fucking whacked out, and they were like, hold on, let's make
Everybody
this
started
illegal.
taking this
Yeah,
shit.
like these fools are
And
getting too
and the
whacked
more
out.
the more in the front line you were, the more Pervitin they would give you.
Man.
So the people who got the most were the people that were in the tanks, bro. They say they would give them like the most.
So they were
They'd be all
funked
fucking
out
just.
all night.
You got to think about it. They're in front leading.
Ah.
So they said that's why they took over so quick. When
Oh,
they took over
yeah.
France, the French were fucking drunk, bro. They were drunk, and these fools were over here on speed. They didn't stop in the night. They just literally ran over and took fucking France like in 16
Well, I want
hours.
to say Poland too. I want to say they just like
They
literally
they bum rushed everybody.
yeah.
Literally, dog, bum rushed everybody.
Yeah.
And they had the best weapons, the best tanks. Imagine.
And then them fools are drunk and these fools are
If you
lit.
think about it, it was almost a miracle that they got stopped, bro. They had the best weapons, the best tanks, the best airplanes. They're the first ones with the fighter jet. They were the first ones with the B-2 rocket, sending rockets to like fucking England because of Werner von Braun. That's how we. There you go. That's how NASA.
Well, they
and all that
lost for
started.
being too greedy, and I want to say because they were being
They-
because of nature.
They were being very too greedy, and they
nature.
lied. They lied. They said they wouldn't attack Russia, and they did attack Russia. And then that's what really stopped them. They were.
That's what I'm saying. And
They
then
were
the winter.
50 miles, bro, from the capital, from the main city, Moscow, dog. 50 miles from Russia. And if they would have hit Moscow, they would have taken over Russia, bro.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have been stopped after that. They would have taken over
But you know what stopped them, right?
the winter.
Yeah.
They froze to death.
They froze, dog.
They didn't have the right gear to be that winter, and the winter saved
And you
them.
got to remember, dog, them Russians, that's home to them. They know what to do in those situations.
Bro,
They're
the Russians,
born and raised
I will
there,
say
dog.
this too about the Russian people. They don't get enough credit for World War II. They are the ones who did one of the biggest things. Them and the people from England are the only ones who didn't get taken over by the Nazis. Russia, bro, Russia threw so many millions of young men. They say that there was men that would go to the war without even a gun in their hand, bro. That's how they were throwing
No, and
people
I
like
think
that. They would tell them like pick up a gun from somebody who's dead if you can.
Yeah.
Imagine getting thrown into a war where you don't even have a gun to defend yourself, bro.
No, and they were ruthless with that coward stuff, too.
No cowards, bro.
They
No
were
cowards.
literally, they'll smoke you. Like,
You
dead.
try to be a coward, yeah, you're
Yeah,
dead.
they'll literally just like they won't even think twice. They're
You're
just,
dead.
You're dead. Yeah.
Imagine that, bro.
No cowards allowed,
No cowards,
dog.
and they're not even giving you a handgun, a weapon to defend yourself, dog.
man.
That's intense, bro.
And I want to say, like, when they got to that city, I forgot what city exactly it was, that even the women were fighting back with the Germans.
I'm pretty sure.
Before they got frozen or whatever. You know what I mean? Basically. Because I think everything got frozen and they couldn't get ammo, supplies,
They
food.
cut the
So
supply
they're
chain.
just right there
That's how you
freezing,
stop
dog.
somebody. You cut their supply chains.
So,
And then obviously we start pushing. Obviously the Russians start pushing them back. The U.S., which people don't. Nobody really likes to mention that, but like the U.S. and Russia, we worked together to stop the Germans, dog. Obviously, we worked together to stop them.
no, yeah, they
Even
had
though we're
to.
like mortal enemies, us
Yeah,
and them
yeah.
too. You know, like
It was kind of like one of those
like
things,
hey,
right? They had no other choice, dog.
What it was your enemy's my enemy right now. You know, so even though I don't really like you and shit, we're gonna team up right now.
Yeah,
'cause
we
your
got no
enemy's
other
my
choice.
enemy. Yep.
Yeah.
If
So
we don't-
I was gonna ask you about before we end the whole World War, with the last Shine
Yep.
the Light.
Yep.
Did he survive? Did
Yes,
he
he
live?
did survive. Actually, yes, he ended up dying when he died at the age of 52
Oh,
in
okay.
Houston, Texas.
Oh,
And you know what? Now that you mentioned that, good thing you mentioned that. I want to bring up Staff Sergeant Mauricio Garcia because this is incredible, bro. When I heard of this and I read of this, I'm not gonna lie, it does make you feel a little, a certain type of way. Maybe a month or two after winning the Medal of Honor, he was trying to get a dinner right there in Houston, and they denied him service, bro, for being Mexican. They didn't serve him. They kicked him out. They actually beat him up with a bat and everything, bro.
What?
Because he said, I served this country. I'm not going to leave. And they beat him up. Bro, it didn't come out in the news or nothing until some news reporter heard about the story,
Yeah.
went, got the story, and he blew it up. And then you're not going to believe this, bro. When he blew up the story, the news reporter, the fucking owner of the restaurant put charges on Staff Sergeant Garcia, dog. He brought charges on him, all right?
for what?
I have no
Yeah.
for not wanting to leave the establishment, I guess.
That's
Because you know how
crazy.
they have the
right to refuse.
Yes. And bro, he was charging him, and then once that happened, the story blew up and all the raza went to support, and obviously they ended up they
And
didn't
there's
they
raza
dropped
out in Texas.
they dropped the charges and shit. They didn't end up doing nothing with it. But imagine, bro, you just won the Medal of Honor for the country. You come back.
He was willing to die.
Surviving, bro, after everything you just did, helping your platoon survive, being the leader that you were meant to be as a staff sergeant. Because when you're a staff sergeant, you have people under your belt, bro. It's not that easy. Anybody who dies, that lives with that staff sergeant forever. He was under my watch. He died under my belt. Like, imagine doing everything you did, dog, and you get the Medal of Honor by the president. The president gives it, and a month later, dog, you're denied fucking a dinner,
wild,
bro.
dog.
In your fucking country, you're denied dinner, bro.
That's peanut brains, dog.
That's fucking incredible, honestly.
That's
bro.
peanut
It just
brains.
made me think, like, what the fuck? And that's why I did the Shine the Light, because our stories, I don't know why, they're just not told about the army and the military, the heroic things
They're
that
not
we did.
really, yeah.
Nobody
They're not really,
mentions
there's
those
no
shits
real
ever,
big
bro.
shine on it, yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I don't like that. I don't like that. And if, like I said, if we build a little platform, whatever we do, I'm going to make sure, we shine the light on these people, bro. Their stories are, I can't believe their stories are not told, bro. Look at this guy. He took out 2 machine gun nests by himself, dog.
Man,
And,
dog.
and imagine, dog.
And all at the end, like,
And maybe 5-6 months later, you're denied food, bro.
and he was willing to die
He had
right
his
there,
money
dog.
ready. You know, he just obviously he wasn't asking for no free fucking food. He just
Yeah.
wanted a nice dinner, and you're denied, and you get beat up at that, bro, with a bat. It clearly says he was assaulted with a bat.
But you know what? Thank God that now 2025, dog, that there's cameras everywhere. And honestly, dog, like on TikTok and all that, you could see how big that whole movement is. And that even goes for
it keeps everybody in line a little bit.
Yeah, no, but I'm
Yeah.
saying like now they get exposed.
Yes,
like,
yeah,
they
that's
get
what I'm saying. It keeps
exposed.
everybody in line when they're doing dumb shit like that.
Like it gets so deep, dog, like within 24 hours or 2 days, dog.
Oh, no, it goes
Their
viral.
job
Millions.
already knows. They're fired.
They're fired
like,
already.
They're already
yeah.
fired.
Which is good, dog. Imagine this restaurant, if that would have been right now. Imagine if this restaurant would have done that to a
they get
Marine
canceled
that
out.
just came from like Iraq or Afghanistan.
It would get canceled
The
out.
store would have closed. They would have to
100%.
close the store.
They would
There's
have
no
to
way
close,
they would have. The public would have let that happen.
Not just that, their upper everybody they would get they would get
Oh,
fired.
the Marine Corps himself or the Army would have came down to that fucking place and be
and be like, you know what, like this
you
is
guys
out.
think this is okay? Like,
Probably get sued.
oh,
Probably
maybe,
get
yeah,
sued.
maybe. It's incredible though, bro, that like when I heard of that, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it upset me. Obviously, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, and of course he didn't want to leave. Why should he leave? Why? Get out of my restaurant. Why? I just served the country. I just, like, what do you mean? I just came back from the war. I'm hungry.
He basically got spit on.
Bro, got spit. I'm telling you, they assaulted him and they were trying to press charges on him. So,
But see, I think I want to say in Texas, dog, they got like those sundown towns.
yeah, they used to.
Is it?
They used
I'm
to.
probably
pretty
not.
sure.
Probably not anymore. And if they do, dog, they're like low key about
They're
it.
not.
You know
They're
what I mean?
not saying it out loud like that no more. We're not playing that shit no more. Everybody knows that. We're not playing that no more. The blacks and brown people in this country, we're not playing that shit no more. That's why they try to do that shit kind of low key. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, that's a good little topic too. Just the other day, I want to say like a month or two ago, I forget. I want to say North Carolina or South Carolina, some Nazis showed up, bro, and the black community showed up.
I seen that
and
one. They were like
ran
on a
up.
bridge,
And
right?
hey, shout out to all the black community that was there standing up, that was ready to take flight on them, beat their ass. They all ran like cowards, jumped in the van and skeeted out like some cowards.
It was
Shout
like on
out
a
to all the
bridge,
black
like on a
community.
highway bridge.
Yup,
yeah.
that showed unity, and we need to do that more. Whenever they try to show up and act like they're gonna try to start some shit like they did back in the days, the black and brown community needs to show up in numbers, dog, and let them know this shit ain't happening again. I don't care who's in the White House. I don't care none of that shit. We ain't going back to that no more. 100% we
think
not.
Till this day, dog, there's still protests.
Yeah, but well, I mean, we can protest and all that. It's cool.
Yeah.
But I don't care about protesting, honestly. That's fine. Protest whatever you want. But I'm talking about like people thinking that the Nazis are gonna like show up in the US and all that shit. Nah, we're not playing that no more. We're not, we're not playing that movie.
Maybe
no
like in the suburbs, but definitely not out here.
and
in
they
Southern
better
Cali.
hide. They better not be showing out like that, bro. Because I swear, the black and brown community, we're not playing with that no more, bro. We're not even gonna let a little bit of that fucking ideology hit the streets no more. Now, hell no. We're gonna show up in numbers, dog, and let them know. Hell no, we're not playing that.
Yeah, that's why, like, with the Westside Speakeasy podcast and reaction channel, we definitely like to promote the black and brown unity.
Just unity and 100%.
We definitely like.
We go through the same struggles, bro, in the same streets. We're neighbors out here in LA. People could say what they want, but those are the facts.
And shine the lights definitely for Raza, like for the people, dog. Because we proud, man. We proud out here.
100%. And like I said, our stories are just never told. So our military stories. So we're gonna tell them if we can. You know what I mean?
And for anybody new watching the Westside Speakeasy, we out here in Southern California what is it? Undisclosed
An undisclosed location for sure.
undisclosed location. That way we can remind you guys, kind of an idea of where we're coming from. We raza and all that good stuff. I keep forgetting that we need to kind of introduce ourselves.
And not only that, I will say this too. Shout out
episodes.
to other good white people out there too, bro. There's a lot of good white people that help the country.
All
That
people.
that work hard, just like everybody else. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying to those that have that little stupid ideology that think small, don't try to play that shit with us, man. We're not playing that no more.
Yeah, just like there's raza that.
There's raza that think small too and have dumb fucking ideas and think that they're better than people, which is we're all. The way I see it is we're all part of one race, not the human race. I mean, I don't know how everybody else thinks,
But Texas is definitely, before we move on to the next subject, dog, Texas is definitely like a whole different vibe, dog.
Well, you know what? Texas has a very good, rich history itself, fighting the Comanches and, the Texas Rangers fighting against the Comanches. They have their own, like, deep little history, too.
I'm sure
obviously.
they do, and they got, like, real deep roots, too, dog, 100%. As far as, like, the way they carry themselves, dog.
Oh, they're proud Texans. Texans. Shout out to Texas, man. Shout out to everybody out there in Texas. Hell yeah.
Because, the white people out there in Texas, too, like, you could definitely, like, see, like, off top, dog, their whole vibe and everything, dog.
Yeah, they have shout out to everybody. They have an original style. That's what I like, too.
And I forgot what exact city it was, dog. It was me and Pops. We went to go visit a family, dog.
Okay.
In Texarkana. Shout out to Texas. Oh, shout out to Texarkana.
Yep.
My cousins. I got cousins out there. Mario.
Nice.
Cameron,
I drove through
Chris,
Texas. Yep.
The homie.
Cool.
Yeah, one of my nephews, Chris. He had got Southside right here. I think. That's what. Yeah, that's what. Not for that.
Oh, for like actually Texas out there. Yeah, they have that too out there.
Not for that, bro.
They have that too out there. You're right.
If you know. But yeah,
they have that Texas
I'm talking
out
about
there
like
too.
the South.
Yeah,
South. But anyways, I was out there, right?
Yep.
We were coming home already. I was knocked out in the back seat. Pops was dipping, right?
Right.
Pops, he's native,
Okay.
But he could definitely get mistaken for
raza.
For sure, 100%. I mean, he basically is raza.
I mean,
that's a whole different subject. We're not gonna get into that right now.
Yeah, raza
we're not gonna get into
natives
that.
are cousins and shit. But
that's
whatever.
a whole nother. Yeah, but anyways, he's raza basically.
A whole nother nice topic.
He's browner than me.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, he's driving, so I'm in the back seat knocked out, and then we get pulled over, bro.
Okay.
In a random city in Texas, I forget. I gotta hit up Pop so that he can let me know what it is.
Remember where it was at, yeah.
So I tripped out, bro, because honestly, I don't even know why we got pulled over. I'm pretty sure it was profiling.
You think so? What time was it? What time was it?
Man, it was broad daylight. It was broad daylight. It was like some, white cops. Flat tops. One of those.
Military cuts and shit.
Oh yeah, just the typical schmipical.
Yeah.
And I tripped out, bro, because honestly, they weren't tripping. We had I think a couple of guns.
Okay.
Yeah, we had
open carry over there too, huh?
Yeah, and we had some tree. We had a tree.
Okay.
Obviously, here in Cali,
legal.
It's legal.
New Mexico not legal?
No, this was in Texas.
Oh,
dog.
Texas. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say.
You're right.
So I didn't know.
Yep.
So, long story short, man, I ended up getting fined like $500 because they took me in, dog.
They took you in?
Well, I had a couple guns.
And weed.
And bud.
Yeah, they took you in for the weed for sure.
They seen the guns, physically seen the guns.
And they were like, that's cool.
They went like this, and they just put it aside.
Yeah.
And didn't even mind the guns.
Didn't even probably
and then I had like
check
the
serial
cash.
numbers.
But I had cash because I'm a tattoo artist. Follow me on Moco Tattoo.
Yep, follow him.
On Instagram.
YouTube, everything.
Yeah, if you want some tattoos done, Tigre's got some tattoos on him too.
Yep.
Maybe one of these episodes we show off our tats, but not right now. And I also do airbrush. But yeah, so I had money.
Yep.
I had money, and he was like kind of like, it was like straight up profiling, dog.
Yeah, it was
literally
profiling.
went to visit family.
Yeah. Look at these Mexicans. Let's pull them over, see what they got.
Exactly, and they were like questioning us, like, where are you guys going?
From? Oh, you guys from
Cali?
What are you
guys
guys
doing?
You guys got weed on you there.
And I'm like, bro, like, yeah, like, you know what I mean? And he's like, yeah. Oh, when he grabbed the bud, he was like this. He was
we scored.
It was
got
like
it.
Eighth, bro. It was just random weed that we're even thinking bad, dog.
He probably like, we got one, boys.
It was all genuine, dog. Like, we weren't even thinking that way.
Weed.
So yeah, they cuffed me up. They took me to their little station. It was probably the size of this house. And it was like that easy. Like, he was like, okay, well, he just took me into the little courtroom. It was a big old fat dude with a flat top. You know what I mean? A big old Caucasian.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he was just in his little seat, and he's like, "Well, it's something $500, you know." And I'm like,
yeah.
all
You
right.
paid right then and there?
Right then and there.
Oh,
They let me out right
that
then and
sound
there.
like they pocket that five.
They got me. They got me.
You know what I mean?
100% they got me.
Because
Yeah.
you know you got to pay a court and shit. They try to pocket that five.
Whatever it was a little ass receipt, and he's like, "Ha ha ha."
Yeah.
And hey,
you
dog,
bought dinner for the whole station that night.
I looked at it like this, dog. I was in the wrong hood, and they got me, dog. Like, you know, not like hood, like gang, but like,
but
I mean,
just
on
in
the
the wrong
tour,
area.
you can almost say that, dog.
You're
like,
just in the wrong area.
I got
neighborhood.
mugged,
You was in
dog.
the wrong neighborhood.
You know, but they were the law. You know what I mean? Fuck, it was the police station was fuck. I'm telling you, the size of the house. It was like 3 cops, dog.
Yeah,
that was like the workers, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then I had no other choice. I wanted to go home.
Yep.
So yeah, man, I tripped out, and that's what kind of reminds me of that old sundown town, like. You know what I mean? It's a small community, dog. They all know each other. They're like, oh, let's get these Mexicans.
Like, that car's not from around here.
Yeah, they were asking, oh, what are you doing? This and that. Like, bro, like, what?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I drove from from Cali to Miami, and I didn't get pulled over once. I drove back and forth a year later. I didn't get pulled over once. And I had a van that said California plates wrapped in some runts. You know, in some
but they probably won't know what that is, dog.
Maybe.
You know
I'm thinking half of the states that I crossed knew what's up for sure. Because I got honked like a couple of times. People pull up, hey, baby, what's up?
Yeah.
I just
You're
be
trying
like,
to smoke some trees.
Yeah. Or anytime I pulled over to get gas, they'd be like, hey, bro, you got some? I'm like, nah, I ain't got nothing, bro.
Yeah.
I ain't got nothing. Now we're doing the trip, we're doing the cross-country trip, like we ain't got nothing.
Yeah, but that definitely reminded me, like, with the whole texting. Like, I'll never forget that experience, dog.
That's
definitely.
Funny. Yeah, Texas, it's like giving you a welcome and shit real quick.
It's a whole different vibe, dog. And I want to say I was like in Missouri or Oklahoma, one of those cities, and they had a lot of I'd go through like little like towns, and they'll have Confederate flags, dog.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know what that means, the Confederate flags and all that. Like,
yeah, it's just
is there a meaning behind that?
Well, I mean, the Confederate flag starts with that was like the Civil War and all that when we fought against each other. And shit.
And it was
like the other people, obviously.
Yeah, not the Yanks.
Not the. Yeah, it was the other people. The people that were representing England and shit.
Yeah, so yeah, man. So that shit just reminded me of that one, dog. You know, shout out to the what was the Shine the Light, the guy's name?
Staff Sergeant. It was my bad. Staff Sergeant Mauricio Garcia.
Shout out to him, man.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Mauricio.
Good looking now. So what else do we got here? Oh, before we move on with the whole autism thing, I wanted to. So remember we were talking about on the last episode about that they shot him up.
They shot who up?
The autistic kid.
Oh yes.
That he was 17. So apparently, they pulled I guess he was on life support, dog. So now he officially passed away. Yeah.
Unfortunate, man. Rest in peace, man.
Rest in
Condolences to the family, man.
And we're it's on the last episode. Check it out. We're talking about the whole situation, but. Yeah, I just wanted to update that.
Yeah, condolences to the family.
And then I was looking on TikTok, and they were showing slides of pictures of him, dog.
Okay.
And he was definitely, autistic, bro. He was definitely autistic, like as in he was probably not in regular classes. It was obvious that he wasn't, dog.
That's devastating,
dog.
That's bullshit, honestly, bro. That's the one that they just pulled. They didn't even use.
Yeah, they just lit him up. They just lit him up.
That's fucking bullshit. Those cops should be brought to justice, and they should be tried in court, dog. Honestly, they should stand in front of a jury and let the jury decide if those cops are fucking guilty or not. Why go lethal right away, bro? Why? Now there's even different weapons that I've been seeing that they have now. It's like they shoot instead of a taser, it's a net that wraps you around so you can't move. Why did they go lethal right away, dog?
Or at least why they light them up like that too? I mean, honestly, I think
They're taught to do that for them. They're taught to unload the magazine and put the threat down and make sure it doesn't move. Like they're taught literally. That's what they teach them in the academy, to put the threat down and make sure it's not moving. So that's why they unload. That's why every single cop, as soon as one shoots, every single one will unload their magazine, dog, at whoever they're shooting at, and then reload the other one and get ready, and they'll wait. And if you do any fucking movement again, everybody starts shooting again.
Man, that shit. Talking about the whole Texas, and so I had a neighbor right across the street. He was Texan, dog.
Okay.
But he used to he used to
spaz out a little bit.
Yeah, he used to spaz out.
He was a Caucasian gentleman.
Yes, he was. He was definitely Caucasian. He was from Texas.
A Texas man.
And long story short, dog, the Huda was surrounding him. He had one of his little episodes, right?
Okay.
And they're all surrounding him. And then one of the Hudas looks over at me and he's like, "Hey, bro, is your neighbor like did he say what did he say? He's like, is he crazy, bro? Or is there anything wrong mentally with him?
Does he do this?
And I was like, I don't think so, bro, but he's definitely an asshole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he just kind of
Yeah.
smirked and he's like, okay.
Okay.
But see, that just kind of reminds me of that with that kid, dog. Like,
Yeah. They
you know
didn't go
what I mean?
lethal on that guy right away.
Nah, yeah,
Right?
right.
They didn't
I
go
know,
lethal on
right?
him right away, right?
Yeah. But I get it because, the autistic child, or he was 17, so he was a minor. He had a knife in his hand, dog.
That doesn't mean
But
much,
that doesn't
though, bro.
know.
You said there was a fence between them and
there was
everything, right?
definitely a fence
Come
between
on, bro.
them. There
There's
was
a fence.
definitely somebody in there. See, what people don't understand is when they like, with my son's in the spectrum, dog. So
Right.
they kind of do the opposite, dog. Like if remember when I tell Zolan, I'm like, hey, don't be doing that. And what does he go?
He always answers you right away.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah,
you tell him no, he says yes. If you say yes, he say no.
No, yeah. And he'll literally like, no.
Yeah.
Like as soon as I tell him, or if I'm like, don't do
get,
that.
Right.
And he's like, no.
You tell him a couple of times.
So it's like, poor man. Yeah, man. Rest in peace to that.
Unfortunately, man. Condolences
child,
to the family, man. Hopefully that kid's
hopefully
man.
they
That
get
kid won't
justice,
be resting
dog.
in peace. Hopefully they get justice.
Yeah.
Hopefully those cops get tried for at least. I'm not saying they got to do like first, second degree, but a manslaughter charge at least, where you're gonna do sit down for 5 to 7.
Just like they set examples for criminals, they need to set examples for police.
I would give them the same charge like an accidental, like like a car accident where you kill somebody accidentally, but it was a real accident. That they give you, the 5 to 7 for manslaughter. That's what those cops should get, bro. At least minimum that. 5 to 7 for manslaughter.
And to set an example to other cops, like, hey, like you guys got to start thinking.
Bro, that doesn't even
firing,
make sense, bro. There was a fence in between them. That doesn't even make sense that they would pull out weapons like their guns right away and just start blasting at them like that.
It's because I could see, dog, where there's like different angles.
But what is he gonna do? Stick you through the fence?
He could throw the knife.
And what are the odds he's gonna make it through the fence?
You
know what I mean?
Just,
like
there's
a
just
lot
too
of
much.
things.
There's too much.
Maybe it happened too fast. I don't know.
I mean, look, dog. Like what I'm saying is, what if they didn't even know what's going on? They get a call and there's a guy with a knife out.
Yeah, like you said though, there's a fence. You gotta remember that fence in between them is a big difference, bro. If there wasn't, if they're like where he could stick you, then I get it. Oh shit, they didn't see the knife. He pulled quick because and he just boom, he reacted. But with the fence being there, bro, that throws a big monkey wrench in their fucking, like.
But and then also the overkill too. Like all 3 or 4 of them, like
everybody, bro. He probably got over 20 bullets he received that body.
So they definitely made a big mistake, dog. And like we said, dog, hopefully,
hopefully there's justice for the family, man. That's not fair. That's not fair, honestly.
Most definitely, man. And yeah, I just wanted to update you guys on that one right there. Let me see. We got. I did want to update everybody as far as the interview.
Mm-hmm.
I've already talked to the homie, right? So we're going to have like our first interview is going to be on graffiti. It's going to be an active graffiti artist, Acer.
Yep.
Everybody keep a lookout. Hopefully this week or next week.
Yeah, we'll be dropping it maybe within the next like 2 episodes. If not the next episode, maybe the next one for sure.
And everybody that tunes in, let us know if you guys got anybody that you feel that we should interview,
Right. We got a couple people in mind, too. We want to bring you guys just maybe a couple of entrepreneurs that own businesses.
Yeah.
How did they start their business? We got a couple of things in line.
Even like we got Nephew. He's part of the union.
Yeah, we're going to have, Nephew. We're going to get a young man's perspective in his, early 20s. That's a cool little topic, too, right there, right? So I was talking about a nephew, right? Me and my cousin were talking about our nephews, and without saying it, we were just saying, like, I was telling him, like, man, like, I'm proud of, like I see my little nephew, and, like, he makes me, like, how can you say it, like, in Spanish, like, me da orgullo ese way, like, I'm proud to see that little fool, right? Because I see him, and I kind of see just, like, I don't know, I kind of see him grow, like, doing kind of the same things we were doing, like, he's outside, he likes to, go have fun, go like to dance with, and I was just telling my cousin, like, yeah, he's the one that's keeping it up, just like we were and shit back in the days. And it's just crazy how, like, all the other nephews, they just are into different things, bro. You know what I mean? They're just more maybe inside, maybe a little bit more shy. I don't know. It's just different, But to see that one nephew, like, keeping it going like the fellas and chilling with his boys, they buying 12-packs, drinking, they're like 22, 23 right now. They're in their prime. I'm like, yeah, that's right. It's just good to see the next generation, kind of keep it up a little bit.
Keeping it alive.
Yeah, keeping at least the stilo of, being a young man out here in LA and shit, having fun out here, being safe, but having fun out here and shit,
Yeah, no, I mean, like, definitely, dog. Like, I could see it, like, it's crazy because, like, from the 90s, early 2000s, and the mid 2000s, and to now, like you could see like
the change happening,
and then like
and then the big
people
change in
like
2009 when cell phones came out,
the
bro.
circle starts like getting smaller.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
but at the same time,
it gets smaller, but it gets bigger in the sense that your family, like you end up getting with a girl, you meet her family, so you become part of that family. You know what I mean? It becomes smaller with friends. I think you might. Or what are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say like in general, like as far as like him, like the way like he carries himself, like people like us.
Right.
I'm saying that,
like people like us, so that group is becoming smaller and smaller.
Yeah,
yes, 100%.
yeah.
People that care. Yes, I know.
And then to a certain extent, but then at the same time, like you see all these Edgars,
right?
But they're like kind of like different because they're like crash outs. Like
they're crash outs, and nephew ain't really like that. You know what I mean? Nephew's smart. Like he's smart. Like I said, like you said, he's in the union. You know, he does his thing. I feel like, yeah, he's just a little bit different than these. Obviously, he ain't crashing out like that.
Yeah,
you know?
So it's like crash outs, and then there's us, and then there's like in between. Like you get me? So
right. So like the left, like
I mean, unless when we were young, like was that considered crash outs?
I mean, I don't know.
LA. I kind of feel like we're smarter.
LA. I just feel like that's just growing up in LA, being young and like growing up out here. You know. That's what I feel.
Like we were just smarter, dog. But
yeah, no, for sure. I think like we weren't doing half the dumb shit these kids were doing. Another thing too, you gotta remember though, we didn't grow up with social media.
Yeah.
So like a lot of it, I feel was just people trying to get
the beginning of social media.
Nah, even at that. Like
now it's all like social media.
Smartphone, I was 21, 22 when I got my first smartphone. My first cell phone, I was probably like 17, 18, but it was like still flip phones and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like I remember having the Juke. I remember the Juke, that little thing. It was a little MP3 phone. It was this big, this skinny, and you would just flip it, and the screen flip back and forth like that.
Okay,
it was an MP3. That phone was badass, but it didn't have no touch screen or nothing like that.
You would have to text or call,
like
right?
You had to use all of it.
Man.
But like imagine those were like my first phones. Like I'm literally my first smartphone. I was minimum, I want to say 21, 22 in that age, around that age, you know.
But you know what, dog? Like, for example, like us, all we can do is just kind of like educate the younger people. You feel me?
And tell them that it's okay to, have your own stilo, think different than the crowd. You don't gotta be following the fucking crowd. Like people think that, if I don't follow the crowd, maybe young kids nowadays, I'm not gonna get a girl or something like that. It's not like that, bro. Just be confident in yourself, be yourself, have fun. And with people having fun, that's what attracts females too. Young men don't know that, like, you want to be having fun. Girls want to see you laughing, smiling, having fun with your boys. And then they're like, oh, let's go chill with them. They look like they're fun. If you over here just whatever.
Too hard.
Like, come on, bro. Who wants to be around that shit? What female really wants to be around that like that? They want to be around a person who's laughing, making them laugh. Imagine fucking Simone home. Oh, hell no.
I just guess it all depends. You know what? I feel like there's somebody for everybody.
For sure, man. Shout out to the youth, man. Shout out to all the youth out there, man. I know it's hard for you guys out there, man.
Man, definitely in the future, dog. If we ever get some like the ball really, really moving, dog, I'm definitely down to do something for the youth. Dog.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
In the future, man. I'm just talking about just all the way up in the future. As a matter of fact, shout out to the West Factory, dog.
Shout out to the West Factory, man. Shout out to the fellas out there doing their thing, man.
Doing their thing. And
shout out to homie Smurf doing his thing. Yup, he grinded. Shout out to that fool. He grinded for sure. Putting in them hours, man. Shout out to that fool.
They had interviewed like some little fool, dog. I know him. I actually known him since he was like 14, dog.
Oh, okay. A little youngster?
A little youngster, yeah. And I guess, he's
part how old? Like
17, I want to say he's probably like 18
now.
Okay,
no, yeah, he's young.
Like
he's
18,
young.
19.
He's definitely young.
And like I said, I'll be outside a little bit, dog. So I be knowing our little youth out here, and
that's cool. But
they know me, dog. Like as in, like I'm always pushing positivity, dog. I always tell them to follow their heart, dog, and whatever feels right. You feel me?
Look for a talent, put all your effort into that talent, and try to make money off of it. So everybody got a talent. That's one thing I will tell to everybody. Everybody has a talent
for something.
Man. It could be anything.
Some fools got lip. Bro. Some fools got singing. Some
whatever
fools got
it is, bro.
Physical. You know what I mean?
If it's whatever it is, look for your talent, find it, and just put all your effort into that. And money will. They say that when you do that, money comes by itself eventually, bro. When you have a talent or something that you really like to do, that's why they always said, like, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. That was a saying that I always heard when I was young. If you love the work you're doing, you'll never work a day in your life.
Because you'll like what you're doing.
Because you just love what you're doing. If you could turn a hobby into money, that's a wrap. That's a dream, honestly. I think if you like, what are your favorite hobbies? If you can make money off of that and just live off of making,
you'll just be chilling,
bro. That's the dream, honestly. What more do you want?
Yeah, you'll be chilling. And so like I was saying with the West Factory, dog, they put them they did a little interview with him, dog.
Okay.
And I'm just saying that's cool that they're putting people on like that.
Yeah,
you get
yeah,
me?
man. Shout out to
And
the West,
again,
for sure.
like I said on the last episode, they're doing like a whole cipher, which gives you a chance to win like $1,000.
Yep.
And they're bringing the light on.
Yeah,
just,
man. The new young artists out here,
Yeah.
they're trying to get it. Everybody got, man.
So-
Everybody should have a chance.
So that's kind of like what I'm doing with the graffiti artist right here. You know,
Okay, yeah,
he's not a kid, but he's not old as
He's
hell.
just graffiti artist. He's an artist. That's what he do.
But that's another thing, dog. Where that's like that, like not a lot of people are like, because back then I kind of feel like in the early 2000s, all the walls were hit up. The freeway was hit up like crazy.
I remember that graffiti was its own big movement, like huge movement, bro. I had
and now I don't
cousins who
feel
were
like
super
it was.
into graffiti.
I don't feel like it's as.
It's dead. Remember
Yeah.
remember they kind of killed all the tagging crews and shit, and then
Oh
yeah,
Semi,
but nah, bro,
yeah,
that
yeah.
movement, I really like that movement too. It was a fun movement, dog. It was just
yeah, it was
vandalism.
cracking.
Don't get me wrong, it was a little bit of vandalism and shit.
Yeah.
But I mean,
But you're hitting up
if
the
you
walls
could
on
get
the
down,
freeway.
bro, if
know
you
what I
had good art, it's art, bro. Like, yeah,
And it was
I just
fun,
watched
dog.
a documentary
It was fun.
from a crew called CBS, Can't Be Stopped. If you guys
that's
get a
old
chance,
school.
look
Yeah.
at YouTube, the documentary. It's a phenomenal documentary, bro. It's a great documentary. Shout out to all of those fellas. There's a lot of them are still around, like just doing their thing, you know?
They're probably already grandpas at
R.I.P.
this point.
Skate, Big Skate came out of that documentary. Yeah, man. Shout out. Look for that documentary. Can't Be Stopped. CBS crew.
Yeah, more than likely I seen it. But yeah, we're gonna be doing that. And there's some other graffiti artists, dog, like that we can do later in the in the future.
Oh, LA got legendary artists out here, bro. Legendary graffiti artists that ended up like in art galleries and shit that they ended up like selling to like, world-class art galleries they ended up in.
But
sure.
yeah, and as far as the West Factory too, be on the lookout, dog. They're gonna do a show, I think, in Oxnard. I'll get all the
Hell
details.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I might pull up, man. You might see me in Tigre up there. You know what I
Out
mean?
there in
Just-
Oxnard and shit, showing
to
love
show
to
little-
them.
yeah,
Man. Shout out to everybody
definitely.
out there in Oxnard, man. Shout out to you guys.
We do like networking, and we got to, man.
Yeah,
That's just,
for sure. We gonna, you know how it is. You got to network.
The more hands you shake, the more money you make. Remember that, young.
100%.
My YNs, and I'm kidding.
You got the YNs, the YMs now, the young Mexican, and then you got the YCs too now, the young crack. That's what they got all of these little names down and shit. It's just funny.
But I think so. You got anything else?
Nah, I think that's about it, right?
Yeah, we're
for the
about
day.
we're about an hour in. Yeah,
Yup.
we're about an hour in. It's a little late. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yep.
Let us know in the
Thank
comments.
you for everybody for listening. We appreciate every time you guys tune in, man. Thank you.
Let us know in the comments too if you guys want us to cover any topics. Look out for that new interview that's coming up. We might have the homie that's in towing. He's got like a whole case, like it was like on gun rights.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
We might have him up here to explain a little bit more, dog. It's a
We'll
little bit
see
more.
what's-
That's
yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit more educational, man.
Yeah,
that's like a little deeper.
Yeah, a little
Yes.
touchy. I don't know. We'll see if it's case is open still. We probably gonna have to postpone that till.
But
we'll
it's
see.
about
Oh,
rights.
you know
It's
what?
about
we
rights.
need to
It's
throw
about
Shiesty
rights.
on him too. Anyway, we don't gotta put his face out there.
Nah, but I don't think it's. We'll find
We'll
out,
see.
man.
We'll see what's up.
Good
We'll talk to
looking
the
out.
homie.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate that. Till next time, everybody.